the 2017 Chevrolet Bolt. So this is General Motors' brand new pure EV for the masses. It has an affordable base price, and we're going to talk all about it today on this latest episode of CarBuzz Unboxing Reviews. I'm Jay, and in a previous video we already gave you our first impressions of the new Chevrolet Bolt, but today I'm going to go a bit more in depth and talk about this car's features, its pricing, and essentially has General Motors built the best all-electric car you can buy for about $30,000. And to sum it up, yes, this is the best you can get, considering its most direct competition is the likes of the Nissan Leaf, but that is an aging car, and this is brand new and state-of-the-art. So this was introduced originally back in 2016 at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and this is all new ground for General Motors. Now, there's two trims available. You have the LT and the Premier. This is the Premier. We were at a private Chevrolet Bolt event that GM put on for us. So, of course, they had the top-of-the-line Premier trim for us to check out here. But as you can see from this interior design, the moment you step in, it looks like a regular car. I like that push-button start there. I'll go back to the interior in just a couple more minutes to talk about its features, but taking a look at this exterior design, yeah, I like it. What's interesting is that Chevrolet considers this, believe it or not, to be a crossover, and yet it is classified as a subcompact. You might sort of laugh at Chevrolet for calling it a crossover, but when you sit inside of it, especially the rear seats, you're going to notice immediately that it's quite spacious. And when you measure the dimensions, or when we looked at them from what the information Chevrolet gave us, those numbers are very, very similar to a crossover. So if Chevrolet wants to call this a crossover, that's fine by me. So our tester here, this is painted orange burst metallic. That exterior paint costs an extra $395. It's got standard 17-inch aluminum wheels, LED daytime running lights, and the overall look, yeah, looking up close here, it's got the sculpted look, and I like it. The details really are quite nice, but the overall exterior design, it may be a little dorky for some. I get that. It's not, let's say, Tesla sexy. Could General Motors come out with like a coupe version of the Bolt that looks sexier than this? Absolutely, if they wanted to, but we haven't heard anything about that. And yes, I know the Tesla Model 3 looks fantastic, at least in concept form, but that car is still a couple of years away. So this is what you can get right now for about $30,000. It comes standard with a 120 volt portable charging cord. The optional 240 volt charging unit, it's a portable unit, costs about $750, and that's the fastest way to recharge the battery, and it can provide up to 25 miles of range per hour of charging time, and a full charge takes about 10 hours. So taking a look at this engine here, this is a liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery pack that stores 60 kilowatt hours of energy for a total of 200 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. That power goes to the front wheels through a 1-speed direct drive transmission. Back to the interior here. So this one is painted light ash gray with ceramic white trim. It has the leather seats, again, the Premier model. Other bits that you get with the Premiers is ambient lighting. And the overall look of it, it's a very familiar car for today's day and age. You have a large 10.2-inch main touch screen there. So a lot of the stuff you're going to see is very, very familiar. So it doesn't really strike you as being an EV at first. Here's the rear seat. This is quite spacious. And notice right behind the rear of the center console, you have an additional 2 USB ports. That's optional, but I think that's a really nice feature. And see what I mean with the dashboard? Yeah, it's nice. It looks like a lot of other new cars today that are not EVs. And I like the 2 large screens there. Yeah, and here's the main one, that 10.2-inch diagonal color touchscreen. And it's kind of cool. It breaks down the percent of energy used during driving, including your climate control and battery conditioning, and how total energy is being used in a bar graph format that displays energy efficiency in 5-mile intervals for the previous 50 miles. There's actually even an energy usage score that it'll give you. Other features that you see here, you have the single zone automatic climate control. The car also comes standard with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, 4G LTE Wi-Fi. This is also available OnStar and Sirius XM radio. And this car is also equipped with the optional Bose 7-speaker audio system with a subwoofer. Like I said, that is something that you can get in the upgraded Premier model, which is what this one is. And like in any other car, yeah, you just have plenty of storage right here in the center console, as you just saw in the glove box. Here's the 8-inch digital instrument cluster screen. This shows 3 range numbers, actually: maximum, minimum, and best estimate based on your driving style and usage of things like headlights, audio, and climate control system. So it's a very clever car, I have to say. Now, in terms of actual driving range, this has an EPA-estimated 238-mile driving range. That's excellent. Now, just to compare, the base model Tesla Model S is 208 miles, and the top of the line Model S is 265 miles. But back down to more comparable pricing, the Nissan Leaf has a 107-mile range. So, yeah, 238 miles with a Chevrolet Bolt, regardless of the base LT or the Premier trim levels, is outstanding. You can drive this on a daily basis. And there's a couple of other interesting features here. You have the regenerative braking on demand. It's a simple pull of the paddle on your steering wheel, and you're able to slow down without using the actual brake pedal. And it helps convert energy into more electricity and then transfers it back to the battery, which Chevrolet claims adds about 40 miles to that 238-mile range. You also have the one-pedal driving, which is, instead of losing energy when slowing down, this feature will actually help you transfer energy to the battery, and it works like this. When driving in low mode at any speed, you can slow down or even come to a complete stop by simply lifting your foot off the accelerator, and this means you may use your brakes less and help increase your range. Now, cargo space here, take a look. You have a standard 17 cubic feet, and with the 60 by 40 split folding rear seats folded flat, you have 56 cubic feet, and there's a total of 94 cubic feet of passenger volume. So those numbers right there are very similar to crossover. So yeah, Chevrolet, again, when they want to call this a crossover, be my guest. I think it does kind of fit the bill. So let's talk pricing here. Now, the base LT Bolt begins at $37,495. The upgraded Premier trim begins at $41,780. But that base LT, after the federal tax credit, will come down in price to $29,995. So there you go, $30,000 for a pure EV that has a 238-mile driving range. Congratulations, General Motors and Chevrolet, you did it. This is an outstanding car, and it can be used more than just for your daily commute. It can be used for highway driving, but you have to remember there's not as many charging stations that it can use across the US, kind of like Tesla's supercharging network. There's still a little ways to go for General Motors on that. So what's the competition? Well, you got the BMW i3, the Nissan Leaf, as I mentioned. You also have the Kia Soul EV, Mercedes-Benz B-Class electric drive, Fiat 500e, VW e-Golf, and the Ford Focus electric. The pricing for those is all quite similar. So what do I like here? Excellent driving. The range is really good. It exceeds our expectations. And range anxiety really isn't an issue. Now, what don't I like? Well, there's some cheap interior materials like the leather seats and the hard plastic door armrests. And let's face it, the exterior design is just not Tesla sexy. But I'm out of time for today. Any more questions for me, just leave them in the comments section below, and I'll see you on my next unboxing review.